Hi everyone, welcome to another YouTube live. Please let me know that you can hear me fine. And if you have any questions, this is the time. If you have any questions, this is the time. And please let me know too. That way I have a better idea who's listening. Are you new in IT? Like, are you looking to probably start your IT career or probably, getting your first job in IT? Or maybe this is you. Maybe you have a job in IT and you want to upgrade that job that you have now to a better one. Let me know. Let me know. By the way, I'm going to start this live by telling you this. Do not, throughout your IT career, do not at any point memorize the questions for any test. This is something that I've been seeing a lot the last few weeks. There are so many people right now, they are basically just going through the questions, memorizing the questions in order to get the IT certifications they end up getting. And that's obviously no good. So don't ever do that. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute, because there are a few things that you need to think about and why not to do that, because people find out, people can tell, and I will tell you how people can tell that. So I see Justin, so just got an offer for an information assurance specialist position, 100K, and I only been in IT for 2 years. That's great, man. That's good for you. Good for you. Stay on that job for 6 months. No, not 6 months. Stay on that job for probably 9 months. Maybe 1 year. That way you can get to 130K. You know, because that's basically the point. Get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later. I know how. I don't know how many of you have seen what's going on out there in the economy right now, but we are about to. Many people are talking about, we are going through recession. But really, we're gonna going about to go through that. So I don't know if you're ready to go on recession or not. And this is why I tell everyone you have to go all in. There is no time for excuses, and you being able to get to a high paying job in IT sooner than later. Now, once again, what this live is all about, right? I'm here to ask any questions, to answer any questions, my bad. Any questions that you may have related to IT, because I really want to help you, giving you some advice, some guidance, and how can you take your IT career to the next level. And that's when you get into a job that will eventually pay more than 130K. Now, going back on this conversation. So, once again, Justin, really like good for you, man. You know, I don't know how old are you, but 100K, it's not bad. But make sure not to be okay with that. It's like celebrate, for a day or two and then get back and continually educate yourself. That way you can get to 130 next year. So, what questions, guys? Come on. What questions do you have? But let's go back on what I was telling you. I really hope that you never go through your IT career and get IT certifications by memorizing the questions, because eventually people will know. And that's the other thing too. Like, I don't know why, but people put all that certifications they have on their resume. And that's not good. Like, why would you do that? That's one thing that I used to do. I end up putting all my IT certifications on my resume. I don't do that no more. And that's something that I see that's a mistake, by the way, because when you put entry level IT certifications, right away, that's how people are, like recruiters, let's say. When they look at that, they right away think of, oh, that guy is new. And probably you've been working in IT for a few years now. But just because they see that on the resume, people can kind of have the perception of, well, this guy or this person is new. So for those of you that already have a job in IT and you have hands-on experience and you have a few IT certifications, Do not put any of the entry level certifications out there. Don't do that because that's not gonna help. Okay. Again, just some advice. So I see no one has any questions. So I guess you must know everything. So I'm gonna be talk about a few things based on questions people ask. And one of the questions that many people ask right now is if there are a lot of opportunities in IT, like people say. And I will say that no, there are, yes, millions of jobs out there, but at the same time, there are millions of people going in IT. And this is why I tell everyone it really matters the way that you go about getting your first job in IT, the things that you do, the things that you focus on. And if you end up doing what everyone else is doing, obviously, and more likely, you will not get the job that you want because now you're going after many jobs and you end up basically doing what everyone else is doing. So you are not able to really stand out. You're not able for you to position yourself in a way for people to like you, in a way for people to think of you that you can get the job done. And right now, this is one thing that I see many times, that basically people get consumed with so much information on YouTube. Like they just get so much consumed, and they probably on YouTube every day, going through so many technical videos, learning about many technologies because they think that's exactly what they need in order for them to get a job in IT, or in order for them to probably get one IT certification. And I tell everyone, like, I don't advise people to go through any YouTube tutorials based on an IT certification because you probably don't see many things that are happening, but you're not fully concentrate because obviously you keep going through all these ads. You're going through and see other videos on YouTube. And this is why it's just better to go through a vendor and just focus on that one vendor and just go through that. Like really just focus and just go through that because if not, you're gonna end up being like all over the place. I reached out to this guy and I took a picture. I'm gonna probably do a video about that. I asked him if I can talk about him, and he's like, no. I'm like, okay. But I'm gonna put a picture and I'm gonna put like a smile emoji on his face, and I'm not gonna name him. But that was a post that I ended up on social media, and he has not one, not three, not five, six CompTIA certifications. And he has them because he had like two computers. He had like three in the back, he posted them on the back in the wall. He had a computer with one showing, the other computer with the other one showing, and the other one that he recently got. So he got six CompTIA certifications, and he had like over 100 likes and a lot of comments. Well, not a lot of them, but a few comments like, congratulations, I'm on my way to do the same, I'm gonna do this, and so on and so forth. And I message him and I'm like, bro, you're killing it, that's great, man, but if you don't mind me asking, what job do you have right now in IT? And right away he replied, and he's like, well, I work as a IT specialist. And how long you been doing that? I'm about to be 2 years. And if you don't mind me asking, how much are you earning? 55K. And I'm like, okay. So you've been working in IT for about 2 years. You have 6 IT certifications, CompTIA certifications, all entry level ones, earning 55K. So that's obviously focus on the wrong things. One, you shouldn't be on an entry level job more than 1 year. You shouldn't, not even 6 months. And if you know me, I do not advise people at all. I do not advise people to go and get an entry level job. But for those, they're like, Jorge, I end up getting an entry level job. So you better be on that job for no more than 6 months. If you already have an entry level job, you shouldn't be on that job for more than 4 6 months, because you need to upgrade that entry level job for an admin, or probably some type of a junior engineer level position. If not, you're gonna get stuck there and doing things that will not make you valuable to the IT market. And this is one thing that I notice people don't talk about. And that's the reason why sometimes I talk about things that other people don't like to talk about, probably because they find no value in that, or probably because they don't know. And they focus too much on, I'm going to teach another technical thing. Well, I'm going to teach you how to do this one thing. Well, I'm going to teach you how to set up this one other thing. And those, we have a lot of those videos out there. We have a lot of those videos out there. And you don't need more technical videos, even though I'm gonna about to in the next a month to do some of them, and good ones. I'm not just gonna go and you will see. So I'm going through some of your questions, guys. Uh, Justin, will you rather recommend that SaaS or like CSP, CCSP for cybersecurity? You know, that all depends, man. That really all depends. If you're gonna focus on cloud, my advice is for you to focus on the cloud certification and that certified cloud security professional. If you're gonna focus on cloud, if you're not gonna focus on cloud, do that SSCP. I will not do that CompTIA bullshit. I will not do that. That's just me. I will not do that. And Justin, you asked that one question. You already got a job 100K. So you do not need no CompTIA bullshit, man. No need for that. So if you're gonna focus cybersecurity, but you're gonna focus on cloud, I will go and get that one, that certified cloud security professional. And if not, if it's not focused on cloud, then I will go the SSC practitioner. I think that's what I call. So that next, okay. So I got my CCNA yesterday. Good for you. I'm finishing module 3 of your 100 blueprint right now. I'm getting your membership. Is this what you think I should do? Bro, if you got your CCNA, that's great. And if you want to join that membership, that's great too. That's really up to you. But once again, and again, congrats on you getting your Cisco CCNA. That's good. And that's for Navy Bliss. But the way that you end up getting the CCNA, that's exactly my question. Because let's say that you end up going through the membership with me and we set up a one-on-one call. The first thing that I will do to you is I'm going to ask you a few questions, easy questions, like very easy questions. Like one question can probably be, tell me the difference between DNS and DHCP. Or can you tell me the need of ARP? What we need that for? I would probably ask you, can you walk me through on the OSI model? And what's the big deal to know the OSI model? I will ask you those very basic questions. Now, based on how you're going to answer the questions, I'm going to be, look, man, I don't care if you end up taking the Cisco CCNA that you got it. Again, that's good. But you may have to go back and go through some of those topics because you probably end up learning the topics not the right way. That's one thing that I will end up doing with you if that will happen. Okay. If you end up joining that membership. And this is for, but if you do end up doing everything that I will ask you, to do, oh man, something happened here. I don't like that. Okay. Something happened that I didn't want it to happen, so I'm gonna have to stop that. Okay. Because I'm working on a project right now and I'm monitor some Azure resources. And something happened that I didn't want that to happen, but okay, I will take care of that later. Woo! Okay, so let's get back. Now that I'm kind of worried. Okay, so what else? Okay, so yeah, Navy Blaze. So once again, my advice: yeah, join the membership. Depending what option you get, that way I can get one-on-one with you, a few one-on-ones with you. That way you really end up going through the process and get the fucking job probably in the next month. And I know a good question, for me to ask you, Navy Bliss. Do you have a job in IT right now, or are you looking to get one? And if you have a job, don't be, oh, yes, I have a job in IT. No, you have to tell me what job do you have right now and how long you're working on that fucking job. Okay. So next question. So let's see. So, hi, Justin. We had We had one-on-one in like January. I appreciate that time you to learn from you. Okay. Hey, I just joined a company as a help desk. Okay, but they have moved me into networking. Good. Without CCNA. Good. Now I'm working on the network engineer learning CCNA. That's good for you, man. I don't know where you're from, and I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sure, Baham, Strap, but that's good, man. That you got promoted right away. Uh, so meant to say I have one with Jorge. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm looking into my associate's degree. Associates, bachelors, you don't need that bullshit, guys. I don't know who told you you need an associate. Working on my certificates. I'm being told that this is a poor choice, but college is paid for. Why wouldn't? Okay, if someone is paying for college, that's fine. I guess take it, but don't take certifications that will not help you. Don't take any CAMTIA certifications. Don't help you. Those don't help you for shit. Okay, so I never had a job. I'm planning to learn how to make stories to introduce for your membership quickly. You can get paid well because of lack of degree, though. No, that lack of degree, guys. Who knows my story? By the way, right? Really quick, does anyone knows my personal story? If not, I can probably take 2 minutes and kind of go through it with you guys. My personal story. Do you guys know my personal story? Because as you probably know, I don't have a degree. Okay. I do not have a degree. I don't. I don't. Okay. Uh, I'm a high school dropout. So I don't even have my GT. I don't even have my GT, guys. And let me show you. I know I show this some of you, but this is what I'm proud of. Let me show you something. And I always, this is a remind me on what I'm capable of doing. You know when my life changed in IT, guys, financially, that was back in 2014. So this goes back like many years, right? This is what I was earning in 2014. And I'm going to show you my info because I don't live on that place no more. So yeah. So this is, you can see it through Tech Systems. Probably you know that company, right? Tech Systems. And right there, you probably see rate. Like right here. Can you see? Maybe not. There we go. Pay rate, $70. So that week I did 40 hours and I got paid. Well, you can see there. Okay. So yeah. So that was back in 2014. Imagine that, guys. This is not now, guys. This is not like, oh, like this is not now. Now look at the year, guys. Look at the year, 2014. You see, 2014. Now, the same year, this is why that's when my life changed, guys. This year, this was goes the end of 2013. A previous job I had, you see, 2013, right there. And I was getting paid, if you can probably see, $50 an hour, right there. The pay rate, right there. Right there, pay rate. It's $50. You see, that's my name right there. You see? That was in 2013, 2014. And that 2013, 2014. That year, guys, that's when my life changed financially. And at that point, and I go back years, I didn't have a degree. I didn't have a GT, a high school diploma. None of that shit. I had a few IT certifications. But you see, what I end up getting me there, it's the way that I went about how I position, the way that I market myself, the way that I sell myself, the way that I position, the way that I market, and the way that I sell myself. And there are many things underneath that in order for you to be able to position yourself, for you to market yourself, and for you to be able to sell yourself. So it's easy for me to be, oh, you need to know how to position yourself, or you need to know how to market yourself, or you need to know how to sell yourself. That's easy for me to say that. But there are many things that you need to learn as skills that will allow you for you to know how to position, how to market, and how to. And by the way, guys, I end up getting my Cisco CCNA. No, my bad, my Cisco CCNP 2.5 years ago. I end up getting, it was the last month. I have a video about that too, I think on my channel. It was the last month for me to take the 3 exams. Obviously, I didn't take the exams in a month. It took me about 6 months to go through that process. But I ended up taking the 3 exams for my CCNP: the routing, the switching, and the troubleshooting. And that was the last exam that I took. That was like the last month, because obviously all of you probably know that we eventually got to this new way of get Cisco certifications. So back in 2014, when I was earning $70 an hour, I didn't have my CCNP. And that job was a senior network, senior system engineer. That was my title back then. Senior network, senior system engineer. That was my title. And I didn't have my CCNP. Yes, I had a few Microsoft certifications, a few Cisco certifications. I got my CCNA, routing and switching, my CCNA security, my CCDA, design associate. I had a few Microsoft, but you see, not like really high levels in order for me to be able to get paid that much. This is why, guys, don't get caught up with bullshit with, oh, I need this many IT certifications, because you don't. Next week, guys, I'm going to take my Assure. My princess. My Assure 900. And why would I take that one? I mean, it's just fundamentals, right? Well, I'm not going to list it in my resume, but that's because I want to create that training myself, a better way compared to other trainers, that I'm going to be creating all this content for the membership in the next few months. And that's the reason why I'm really taking my time to really learn cloud inside out, AWS and Azure, right? But again, it's not about that certifications, guy. It's not. And I know many people focus on that. And now that I have a lot more of you, I'm going to ask you for you to freaking like this video. Like, really, guys, come on. I see 30 of you and I only see like 10 likes. I mean, come on. You can do better than that. So do that, please. Okay. So now going back on the conversation. So once again, guys, one thing that you need to think of, like really, one thing that you really need to think of is the way that you're gonna go about getting a high paying job in IT. And sooner than later, a high paying job in IT sooner than later. And reverse engineer the process. If not, you're gonna get caught up with being all over the place. Like many people in IT, they're all over the place. They are learning Python. They are learning Linux. They are learning, PowerShell. They are learning, virtualization, with the VMware. They are learning like so many things. And when I ask, do you really need that right now or no? So why are you learning that? Oh, because people talk about it, people saying that's something that you need. Like, no, you do not go and learn things based on what people tell you to do. You go and only learn that things that will only get you to the next job. Not everything that you have in front of you. You don't do that. That's the reason why many people get stuck. Okay. Woo. So, Alex, Jorge was charged after purchasing the membership program and receiving information for login, send info. Let me take a look at that, Alex, right now. Well, not right now. As soon as I end this, let me look at my email. Yeah, I can see 2 transactions, man. I don't know. Did you end up paying twice or what? What's going on with that, man? Okay, Alex. I'm gonna send you an email after this, okay? And there is no login. When someone joins the membership, they have to call me first. Okay. Spamming. So yes, Alex. So you have to call. we have to do one-on-one before I give you access to the membership, the content, and everything that I have. Okay, that way you know what's up. So you're gonna hear from me, Alex, in the next probably 30 minutes once I end this call. But Alex, thanks for joining. You're gonna end up learning like so much there, a lot. Well, I'm not gonna tell you about that. I had a call with a group on the membership last night, and it was fucking amazing. I don't know if any of the students that are in the membership are here with me listening, and that you end up going through the training that I ended up doing last night, because that was fucking amazing. It was just amazing. And we talk about how you need to start the process and exactly what you need to do in order for you to get the job. So not even going through the job interview process, like the first things that you need to do when you be like, okay, I'm ready, let's go and get the job. Because there are many things that you have to do there at that point. Okay. So let's see. So I'm gonna go back on some of your questions, guys. So how many years of experience did you had before you were end up learning $50, $70 an hour? Back then, about 3 years. Well, not really 3 years, because you see, again, a lot of you don't know my story. My first three jobs that I got in IT, entry-level jobs, all three of them. My first job, entry-level job, and it was $13 an hour, guys. That was my first job, $13 an hour. I didn't know any better, okay? I didn't know any better. I listened to what you're probably listening to. I ended up listening to some people on YouTube, even though there were not that many back then. And people in that community, like, look, like, I want to get in IT. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. And everyone, oh, you need to get your A plus. That's exactly what I did. I ended up getting my A plus. And by the way, back then, there were not that many resources that compared to what you have right now. So I ended up getting my A plus, network plus, security plus. And I applied many jobs. I couldn't get one because they're like, oh, you don't have experience. So I couldn't get one. And then I ended up getting my first Microsoft certification. And that was on Windows XP. That's how old back then. And I couldn't get a job because I didn't know any better. And then I finally got my CCNA. And I was begging, I swear to God, I was begging this recruiter, because even months, and I'm like, look, people are calling me just like you. I just need an opportunity. I need to prove my family wrong. They don't believe in me. I just need to I just give me an opportunity, please. I take all these IT certifications. It's been a year. I cannot get a job. And it was like almost crying. And she's like, you know what? Come over. And they give me the job. $13, first job. My second job, $16 an hour. For me, I'm like, I'm making things happen, right? And it was another entry-level job. My third job in IT was another entry-level job, $20 an hour. And from there, I moved up quick, up to $35. So I was working in IT for about 3-4 years. And at that point, this is basically what I ended up doing. I'm like, I'm gonna quit IT, because $35 for me, that was a lot of money back then for me, because I come from this, mentality that was not possible. So I ended up opening my own business. That's what I did for a few years. So I ended up not doing that much about IT until when I came back. Then right away I jumped in, and it took me less than 2 years, no, less than 3 years, about 2 years for me to get to $70, because I knew how. Because in that process, when I was building a business, I ended up learning all these skills related to marketing, positioning, communication, persuasion, like all these things. And that's exactly what got me there. Okay. So let's see. Let's go back on the questions. So do we have a call to join the membership? Yes. Look, if you get the $77, Navi Bliss, if you get that one, you get just the one call with me, the one call where I basically tell you what you get and give you access. That's basically it. But if you get the one that I posted, the 495, you get 4 calls with me. I give you fucking 4 calls with me, guys. 4. One-on-one, just you and me. Because obviously I care that you do the fucking work. Because if you don't do the fucking work, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna have a fucking excuse. Oh, it's not working. I'm like, yeah, because you're not doing the fucking work. You end up doing what everyone else is doing. Guys, I'm gonna end up doing lives probably once every week, and I'm gonna remind you, we're gonna get to that point that when the economy, when we go through this recession, then now we are about to like get in there. things will get bad, like really bad. And you probably have no idea on what will that affect you. And that's because there are many jobs right now that are, yes, hiring. But in the next probably few months, they're going to be like, no, even though we need to hire people, this is not the time. We may not have this income, so let's just hold on and not hire. Right now, there will be many people that will let go. Many. IT, no IT, it doesn't matter. But now imagine for those that do not work in IT, they are probably doing something nothing to do with IT. What do you think they're gonna end up doing? They're gonna be, I need to get a job, I need to prepare, I need to change my life, I need to do on something that's in high demand. So they're gonna get an IT. So now it's gonna be very competitive. And guess what? They're gonna basically do exactly what you're doing. So now you have a lot of people doing this. Like, look at it. Like, step back and look at the market and be, holy shit, we have thousands of people doing the same shit. Oh my God. Guys, you have no idea. When you go through the job interview process, people can tell when you're new. People can tell that you don't have experience. People can tell. Oh, it's because obviously I don't know. There's ways on how you can position yourself for people to think of you that you have what it takes. You know? Man, I want to talk about so many things, but man. So I'm 15, making $16 an hour right now, guys. Strive for better. But bro, you're fucking 15, man. Miles. I wish. When I was 15, I was earning $15. Yeah, I wish. So Steven, I asked because I recent blog post and say Cisco candidates should use real routers, actual gear, and products demonstrate their skill ability to perform specific. That's bullshit, Steven. That's bullshit. You do not need, on the CCNA, getting your first job in IT, you do not need that. You don't. You fucking don't. It really all depends on how you end up learning, how you process the information, how you're gonna, all these things, man. And I'm telling you, I'm coming from a place of experience and from a place that I help other people to do the same. Um, that was an email that I sent out for those of you that I have your email about a student. I don't know, probably I already talked about that to you guys. Probably not. I don't know. But he doubled his income, guys. He just doubled his income in 4 fucking months. Double his income. Man, from 40 to 80K in 5 months. 40 to 80K. He was working desktop support and he went to a junior network engineer, $80,000. 80 fucking $1,000 in 5 months. Imagine that you can earn, for those of you that have a job in IT, another 20, 30K more in just 4 months, just like that. And not just earning more, but being able to get to a higher paying job in IT. No. So yes, storytelling is the key. Yes, I keep saying all the time. That's one thing that you end up learning with me inside, how to storytell. Because once again, most people don't know how to storytell. So I have another question. I'm not sure if my question was answered earlier. I have a security plus and I have two BS certifications. So what will be the recommend job search and which platforms will you recommend other than Indeed? Bro, you're asking the wrong questions. I'm sorry. Based on that questions, it seems that you feel that you're ready to get a job in IT. And that's no bueno. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. Not because you end up getting those certifications, that means that you can get a job in IT. Because once again, people can tell when you're new. And it doesn't matter if you know that information. People don't hire because you know something. People hire when they can see that you can get the job done. And when people see that you know something, that do not equal, I want to be clear, that do not fucking equal and you being able to get the job done. And there are ways on how can you position yourself that whether you're gonna sell yourself for people to think of you that way that you can get the job done. Because if people think of you that you have knowledge, that you know, that again will not get you the fucking job. Okay. So my advice is go and get the CCNA, man. Now, this is the other thing that I tell every time. You cannot get a cyber security engineer position, man, being new. And it amazed me. Like all these schools, all these programs that says, oh, cybersecurity boot camp, become a cybersecurity engineer in 6 months. You cannot become a cybersecurity engineer in 6 months. No one is gonna hire you being your first job in IT as a cybersecurity engineer. And this is the other thing that I don't know, man. It's just I laugh. People, they are new and they want to get in cybersecurity. They start learning about Linux. They start learning about all these things, and they don't even know what the hell is a network. That amazed me. Like that really amazed me. People want to secure a network without knowing what a network is. That fucking like, and that's a lot of people. A lot of them. They get into cybersecurity and they end up learning all these security topics, let's say, but they have no much of idea on how a network infrastructure is and exactly what that is. That boils my mind. And there's so many out there right now, and that's not good. This is why I tell people your first job in IT, your first job in IT, and I don't care if you want to be a cloud, cybersecurity, DevOps, a network engineer. I don't care. I really don't. But just start the same. First job in IT, it has to be an admin, analyst, support position. Analyst, support, admin position. And from there, now you can go whatever you want. If you want to go and do cloud, go and do cloud. If you want to go and do DevOps, go and do DevOps. If you want to go and do fucking cybersecurity, go and do cybersecurity. But people got it all wrong. So I'm a network engineer too, and I only have okay, bro. If you are a network engineer, Mar H, where you from, Mar? Before I answer your question, where you from? And how long you been a network engineer? Answer me those two questions, please. And I can tell you what would I do if I were you. So I think I agree with CCNA because most small companies don't spend money to buy Cisco equipment. Big companies, they pay a lot or network equipment, get Cisco equipment. Makes sense. Well, it's not just that, Michael. It's not just that. The CCNA has a really strong foundation about what networking is. And a few other things. And again, the CCNA will not get you the job. The CCNA, the only thing that's going to do for you is for people to reach out to you. That's basically the only thing that it does. That's the only thing it does. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing, absolutely nothing else. Northeast, 7 months. Okay. So if I were you, I will take the CCNP. I will not go and get the CCNA. I will go and get the CCNP because you already have an engineer level position. So that's no need for the CCNA. Just go after the CCNP. Do that, man. I don't know how much you're earning on that job. And I don't know if that's remote or I don't know if that's you have to one side or that's hybrid that you do both. But yeah, what's going on, Johnny Anderson? Bro, did you end up watching that training last night, man? You probably missed it. You probably missed that fucking training, man. It was fucking amazing. I'm gonna upload the training tomorrow, Johnny. That's the training that you fucking need, man, in order for you to get the job. So I'm gonna upload it tomorrow in the community. So you were at work. Well, just go through it tomorrow, man, because I basically went through in detail the script, the entire script, and everything that you need to do when you're like, okay, let's apply it to jobs and how you're gonna connect with the recruiters and exactly what you need to say so you control the entire process, man. So go through it. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow. And if I were you, I will go through it a few times, Johnny. And by the way, I'm talking to Johnny because Johnny is one of the guys inside the membership, the program. No, not the membership, my bad, the coaching program. Whew. Okay, let's go back on some questions. The job market where I live is split between AWS and Azure. So, do I choose one or run with it? And run with it? Yes, just choose one, man. Just choose one. Do I know you, Javier Gutierrez, que está? I think I do. I don't know if I had you before inside that program. Let me know if you're still there, Javier, because that name sounds familiar. And if I think, if you think, no, if I think, no, if you think, no, if I think, man, you see, guys, my English is so fucked up. And I'm still good. Imagine you that you know English really well, bro. Okay, my company moving from Cisco staff to Palo Alto. Yeah, so they have money because people that have money do that. But that security comes to start the same. If you can configure on firewall, you can configure the other. That's true, but again, it's better to specialize. Jorge, how do your staff apply for people outside of the US? Juan. I had a student in Mexico. He still lives in Mexico. He went from, I don't know. First, let me ask you, are you in Mexico? This is for Juan. If not, it's not going to make sense what I will say. So let me know if you're from Mexico. That way I can get you a better idea. No, not yet in the program. Okay, so never mind, Javier. I thought you were someone that I knew. From Chile. Oh, I don't know how in Chile works the income there. But I helped this guy in Mexico to not double, triple his income in 6 months. He tripled his income. And he works for Cisco, by the way. So yeah, it applies. It's just basically skills that you take, and these skills that you take, you apply to anything you really do. But obviously, this is more specified for IT and how you go about and really differentiate yourself. Because come on, guys, really think about this. When you want to get a job in IT and you go through a process on getting that job, and that can be your first job, a better job, you always have to have in mind that you are not the only one. There are other people that want that same job as bad as you want it. And probably they are more prepared than you, meaning like they probably have a bachelor's degree. They probably have more IT certifications than you. They probably have a lot more experience than you. So you're really competing. So that's what you need to think. How can I really get that job? Me, not someone else. How can I do that? Okay, like, and I get it. Like, I probably keep saying kind of like the same things, but people don't do that, and I can prove it to anybody. And every time I do that, people that end up signing up to the coaching or the membership, and when I do like one-on-one with them, and I go based on what they tell me, Jorge, I have a job in IT, I work in IT, I've been working in, I have experience in IT, whatever, but they've been in IT. I always ask 2, 3 questions. Two that are technical and one that it's not technical. And I always get the same BS. And like, look, you think just the way that you answer the questions, you think you're gonna be able to get the job? Like, you really believe that? Like, you're not gonna be able to. It's like going through so many, and hopefully someone is gonna feel sorry for you and probably give you that job, or probably because everyone really suck on it. You end up basically being one of the ones that suck less, let's say. But and I see that all the time, and people, oh, I know how to do it, Jorge. I know, like, no, you don't. I can demonstrate that to you. I can prove it to you. And imagine recruiters talk to people all the time. Recruiters talk to people all the time. So they can tell and differentiate people they're just average and people they're high performers. They can tell. And this is not because I think I know better, but they told me when I asked recruiters questions, that's kind of one question or the insights that I get from them. When people take a look at your resume, and you have like fucking 6 IT certifications, and they ask you a very easy question, and you come up with bullshit, they're like, oh my God, like, what the fuck, man? Another of those guys that memorize the questions. And they're probably have like a good face, smiling to you, but they're really laughing at you. And I hear that from people. Man, the other day we interviewed this guy, man, and I was just laughing inside. Like they think they can get this job because they end up memorizing all these questions to pass these exams and all this bullshit. People can tell. You can probably get people can admire you, and you can get confidence on social media because people be like, oh my God, you got that many IT certifications. But at the end of the day, you may not get the job that you want because you end up memorizing the questions. You don't understand the topics. You cannot even educate me on the topics. You cannot storytell me on the topics. Exactly, Martin. Exactly. This is one thing that I told my students. Look, you have to not learn. I didn't say learn. So listen to me. You don't have to learn. You have to master. Know that inside out of network foundation fundamentals. That's not something for you to have an idea. No, that's something that you have to know inside out really well. That's step number one before you do anything else in IT. Oh, it's just cloud. I laugh when people be like, oh, Jorge, they're not going to be that many network engineering jobs later on, because everything is going to the cloud. And I'm like, are you stupid or what? Like, are you that stupid, man? Do you even know how the cloud works? You're going to need networking every time, bro. And you cannot learn, you cannot know how to go and implement, not to maintain, no, to implement, a cloud infrastructure without knowing networking inside out. Because people don't have an idea how everything really connects. People that work in IT, many of them, they don't. So that's one of the biggest things before you do anything. So can I become a network engineer with A plus? Yes, you go and do that, please. Anyway, bro, I don't know if you're listening to me. You don't get the A plus. Who told you to get the A plus? Look, I give you my A plus. I give you my A plus. Here. This is the old ones, guys. You see the A plus. This is the old one. And I give you my Network Plus too. Here, I give it to you. There. Here for you. The Network Plus. Right there. Trust me, if I have to start my career, I wouldn't go through this bullshit. Hell no. Hell no. I'm I'm going through questions, guys, okay? Okay, Michael, my company pay for the A plus and Ebro plus. Man, Michael, you see, like, I don't know how old are you. I don't know if you have a family. And this is like when sometimes coaching works because sometimes they point out to you the right things for you to ask yourself or for you to go in a direction that is going to accelerate the process and you being able to get to a high paying job sooner than later. And why did I ask this? If you don't have a family, Michael, you don't have any kids, and money, it's not that big of a deal for you, that's fine. Get your A plus, Network Plus, a company pay for it, that's good. But if you have a family or you have a kid or a few or kids, let's say, or money matters because probably you live paycheck to paycheck and you want to make more money, I wouldn't take and put my time to do A plus and Network Plus. I will put my time to get that certification that's gonna get me to a better job sooner than later. Because for me, like, time matters a lot. Like how fast I'm able to get to a better job matters a lot. And that's the way that I will go through my IT career again. Like I know if I have to start my career today, by the end of next year, okay? So I start my IT career today, August, let's say 2022. I know by the end of 2023, I'm earning over $130,000-$140,000. No questions asked. And I will put my life on the line and be like, look, I'm going to start in August and I'm new in IT. The only thing that I know is how to go through my IT career. But all knowledge that I have related to IT, all of it, it's gone. My IT certification is gone. The only thing that I know is how I'm going to go about it. I'm earning and I will bet my life on it. By the end of 2023, I will be earning more than $130,000. So, yeah. Because once again, guys, it's not difficult when you know what to do. But the problem too, guys, you're probably getting advice, and I only have 10 minutes, guys, because I really have to go. But you're probably getting advice. You are probably getting some guidance of other people that are in the same boat as you. They probably have the same job. They're probably going through the same process that you're going through. Like you think, let's say um, I'm new in IT, right? And I reach out to someone, and this someone is a network engineer. And I'm like, how can I become a network engineer? Right. And then that one person tells you all about it. Oh, this is exactly how I end up being a network engineer. So my advice is for you to go through this process. And you think, okay, I'm new in IT. This guy has the job that I want, a network engineer. So obviously he knows better than me, right? Because he already has a job. He works in IT and works on the job that I want to get. Now, me, new in IT, I don't know anything. So obviously, I'm going to go based on what he says. But you never question how long it took for him to get to a network engineer position and how long he's been working on that same position. Because if I go, right, me being new, and now that I know better, and I reach out to someone, and I'm like, network engineer, I'm like, okay, if you don't mind me asking, how long it took you to get there? 5 years. Thank you very much. See you later. What do you mean? I don't want to be a network engineer in 5 years. Like, I don't have that time. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck the next 3 or 4 years. Like, I know for many people in IT, money, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. But for me, it matters a lot for my family. And it should matter for you too, how much you earn. You have advice on how to get over 200K? Mark, I don't know how much are you earning, man. If you can get a better idea, I know you have a network engineer job, level 2, I think. And let me know how much are you earning, and I can tell you how long it should take you to get there. So yeah, guys. And I have any other questions, guys? At least, I want to point out to you in the right direction. And for those of you that are ready, go through the membership. Just the only thing I'm asking you, just go through the membership. Let's do 4 calls, you and me, go through the content. So yeah. Exactly. You can disclose. Okay. So I mean, I don't know how can I help you, man, if you cannot disclose. It's not like somebody's gonna hunt you down. Mar H. But yeah, that's basically what that is. You really have to basically, for you earning 200K, let's say someone being new in IT, that should take about 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years. And that's if they go fast. Because you shouldn't be in one job more than 1 year. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be in one job more than 1 year. And that's when you are engineer, senior level engineer position. You shouldn't. This is why you have to be really smart on how you go about it. Okay, let me tell you how, okay? Let me tell you how really quick. How you want 200K. So I'm gonna illustrate that for you guys. Okay, let me come up with my let me just get something to write on. Give me a second here. Give me a second so I can write it down for you, okay? Probably using some of my videos on how to go about your IT career, right? So let's think about it and being new. And obviously, I'm gonna get to a point when you can be like, "Oh, I'm right there." I'm like right there, and now you can take it from there. But I'm gonna go based on someone that start from zero, okay? Now, please listen to this, okay? It's all based on reverse engineer your IT career, and this is another thing that people don't do. So let's say that I want to earn 200K in IT, right? So that's the end goal, 200K. Now, what's that position, that dream job? Does that has to do with being an architect? Does that has to do on being on security? Does that has to do with cloud focus on Azure? Does that has to do with cloud focus on AWS? Probably on both. Does that has to do with DevOps? Does that has to do with what? You have to have an end goal, right? That can change, but that's fine. But you have to have the end goal for now, the 200K job. Now, that question, the smart question is, what's the job that I need to have before I get to that job? So let's say that you are at that point 200K, you are a senior cloud engineer. That's the title. So what's the job that I need to get before I get to a senior cloud engineer with 200K? And then you come up with that title. And then after that, you do the same. Okay, so what's the job that I need to have for me that will get me to this job? So basically what you're doing, you reverse engineer the entire process. Now, let me walk you through on how long it will take you to get there. Someone new in IT, like Jorge, I'm barely going through this process to get my first job in IT. If you know what to do, that will take you for 6 months. And that all depends on how effective you are if you end up going through me, basically. Or if you end up doing that on your own and how well you are with all these skills for 6 months. And you get your first job in IT. So I'm going to put it right here for 6 months and you get your first job in IT. That first job is between 60 to 75K. That first job is support, it's analyst or admin, okay, right there. So you see, for 6 months, 60, 75K, and it has to be something related to support, analyst, or admin. Network admin, network analyst, network support, system analyst, system admin, along those lines. And then how long you stay on that first job that you got in your IT career? First job, how long? Tell my students, ask that question. 6 fucking months. So you're gonna stay in that job for 6 months. And what the hell you're gonna do in 6 months? You're gonna continually educate yourself. I'm gonna continue to do all these things that I end up learning for me to become more valuable to the IT market. And I'm gonna go based on what the market wants, needs, not based on what dumb people, or maybe YouTubers are telling me to do. No, based on what the market wants. 6 months. You go at it, and then you get to a engineer position. How much? Depending on how well you sell and how well you position, you market yourself, and how well you sell yourself, and the location, because that matters too, about 90 to 110K. That's your second job in IT. Now remember, new for 6 months, you got your first job, 60, 75K. 6 months here, and you get to that engineer level position. Now, on that engineer level position, this is what I will do. I will be there for 9 to 12 months. That's it. Continually educating myself. So at that point, I'm going to upgrade to engineer to a senior engineer position. Senior engineer position. And from there, I go to a higher level of senior position, or I go to a lead engineer, or I go to an IT architect position. And there are like two levels of architect position. IT architect enterprise, that's like more of that low, or the IT architect when you specialize in something, okay? And that's another 9 to 12 months. So if you take a look at it, it's gonna take about 4 fucking years to get there if you go all in for 4 years. And that means do many other things, not only get IT certifications, but get them the right way, but do many other things for 4 years. And that will probably has to do with about 16 up to 20 hours, even probably up to 25 hours a week that you have to go all in. Now, Martin says, uh, Martin, I didn't say 60, 70K. Who told you 60, 70K? Martin, probably you don't know me, but I do not advise people to get entry-level jobs. What's an entry-level job? Help desk, it's an entry-level job. Service desk is an entry-level job. A PC tech, it's an entry-level job. Field services, that's an entry-level job. Desktop support, it's an entry-level job. Many people may be like, no, they're not entry-level jobs. Yes, those are entry-level jobs because you're basically doing exactly what the help desk guy is doing. You're basically doing the same shit. The difference is that now you are going to the customer face to face, but you're doing the same bullshit. Oh, I couldn't connect to the printer. The help desk couldn't figure that shit out, so they send a ticket to who? The field services, desktop support. They go to the user. How can I help you? Oh, I cannot print. Okay, let me help you to do that. Oh, let me replace the printer. Oh, let me do this bullshit and blah 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 and all that skills, not skills, bullshit that don't make you valuable to the IT market for you to move up. Okay, so those are entry level jobs. You are able to get 60, 75K on no entry level jobs. No entry level jobs. A good job is something that's network admin, network support, network analyst, system admin. Those are good jobs. Whew. Okay. My voice is almost gone talking to you guys. No, Shan, no entry level jobs. My students don't get entry level jobs. They don't get that bullshit. I don't tell them to get that bullshit because that's just bullshit. You don't do that. Who the hell get entry level jobs? Look, let me show you something. I know I showed you this to some of you the other day, and I'm gonna come up with more from this is inside that community. You see, network analyst, first job in IT, 60K. I don't know if he mentioned that 60K there. No, I don't think so. 60K, guys. Network analyst. Less than 5 months it took him to get that. New in IT. Now, from that network analyst, if he does exactly what he's been doing with me, 6 months, he gets to a network engineer position. And he goes from the 60,000 he's earning to 90, 95, 100K in 6 months. So think about it. That's just 1 year being in IT, and now he's earning about 95, 100K. 1 year in IT, already 100K. Don't you think that the next fucking 3 years, easy to get to 200K? Easy. Guys, in 2015, I was earning about 130K. That's what I'm earning now. But look, here's the thing. Back in 2016, I decided to do training. I have two options. Either go higher in my IT career or do training. And I decided to do training because I helped many of my personal friends to get an IT many years back. So I knew how to do that because without any experience, without any degree, I helped them to get a job in IT. And that obviously motivated me to, you know what, let me help other people to do the same. And that's basically what I ended up deciding and doing the last few years. Obviously, still having my full-time job in IT, but a lot of that time, free time, it was focused on helping other students to do the same. You know, this is why, guys, man, I really want to go and say so many other things to you guys, but time is running out. If you really like, you want a better life because a high paying job in IT can give you that. And I can help you to get there. once again, guys, there's a freaking membership, either the fucking coaching or the membership through there. Do that. You have really nothing to lose and so much to fucking gain. Now, anyone can do this on their own, yes. If they are disciplined and put their mind into it, yes. The difference is this: that when you go and do this with me, we accelerate the process for you to get there sooner than later. And that's basically one thing that I end up learning, that I end up paying so much money to other people. Many things that I know, that's not because I'm smart. That's because I pay other people to coach me, for me to find other things and the skills that really are getting me somewhere in life. That's the thing, guys. You have one life, and IT can really give you like a really good life. Why not have two jobs in IT? That's what I will do, to be honest with you. If I wouldn't do Network Engineer Academy, if I wouldn't do that YouTube lives, help the students, like none of that, I'm just me, Jorge, my career. No one probably knows on what I'm doing. Let's say not even my friends. It's like me, solo guy. I will have two jobs working from home, easily earning about 160 on each job, and be very, very effective at it. So you see, working from home, earning over 300K, that's what IT can do for you if you know how. So that's it. Any other questions before I go, guys? I will give you 5 more minutes to answer more questions. Oh my God, my voice is almost gone. Come on, guys. Oh, and by the way, there is a video that you really need to go through it, the entire video, all of it. I uploaded it a few days ago about the job interview process. That's so much that I teach there for you to take notes, and exactly the things that you need to work on, the things that you need to look out to in order for you to get a job and not someone else. Obviously did something that you end up learning inside the membership, but if not, at least you know what you need to do. At least you know what you need to work on, what you need to study, because I laid out everything, how you need to go about it, and how you need to accomplish those two things in order for you to get a job. And everything is there. Same thing with a video posted about learning from technical videos. Yes, that's one video that I just uploaded a few minutes ago, about 2 hours ago. That's a good video. That's exactly the type of content and things that you end up learning, guys, inside the process with me. Because this is not just based on technical. We go beyond that, because my main objective is to help you get a high paying job in IT sooner than later. The other people, vendors out there, they're really good to help you learn, to help you, and you learning the topics for you to get certified. But I care more. I care about you getting a high paying job in IT. Now I'm gonna answer this one question, the last one question. How do you feel about WGO? I'm not gonna say that's a scam, but I will not go through them because they literally give you the questions for you to collect a lot of IT certifications. They basically go on collecting a certification every fucking 3 weeks. They give you the questions for you to get the A plus. They give you the questions for you to get the Network plus. They give you the questions for you to get the Linux plus. They give you the questions and all this bullshit. There are many people that, yes, they end up getting their WGO degree and end up not getting a job, or they end up getting a low paying job in IT. So that's one thing that I guess. And again, this is coming from experience, guy. This is not coming from I think this is better, or like, no, this is coming from someone been there and that help other students to get jobs as well. Okay, guys. I don't like my hair today. So any other questions, guys? Come on. I'm giving you more time and you're not taking advantage of it. I wish I had me back then, many years back. I really wish I had me back then. You know, one thing that I like about IT too is that in order for you to be able to get a high paying job in IT quick, is obviously getting a few IT certifications the right way, and the other for you to learn high paid skills that are not related to IT. And the good thing about that is that even though many people may know that, they don't have the work ethic and discipline to get it done. Okay. So that's just me. That's just me. Um, so it's easy to get an IT and get a high paying job in IT because there's other thing too about IT people that the standards that most people have in IT, they're not high. They're okay with a 50K salary, with a 60K salary, with a 70K salary. And if I, because I have done it by the way, when I'm like, are you okay on earning? Because I'm like, so how much are you earning right now? And let's say they say, oh, I'm earning 65K. Oh, okay. And how long you been working on this job? Oh, about a year and a half or two or three, let's say. And I'm like, so it's okay for you to earn 65, right? Like you must love it. You like it, right? I mean, I think you're living really good with that income, right? Oh no, yes. Why you saying that? Because you've been working on this job for almost 2 fucking years and you earning 65. So that tells me based on real, like, what's going on, that it's okay for you earning that much. That's the standards that you have for yourself, that's just good for you. Because imagine if I'm earning 90K and for some reason, I end up losing that job and I have to get something quick and I end up getting something that pay me 65. You think I'm gonna stay there? It's gonna probably take me 3 months for me to get from that job to 65 to 90K because that's my standard. That's the reason too many people, they cannot earn less than 100K. That's not their standard. So when people be like, no, I'm not okay, I'm earning this much. And yes, if you've been in that job for more than 6 months, yes, don't lie to yourself. Please don't. Don't try to lie to yourself. You are okay on earning that much. If that's 40K for you, 80K for you, and you've been earning that much for the last 6 months, you are okay with that. And not much is gonna change until you don't change what's here inside. I'm just saying. So, Michael, thank you for helping people for getting high paying jobs. You actually are opening my eyes to better opportunities. High paying job. I want to raise my standards to make more than reach 100K. Yeah, that's one thing. You have to raise your fat. You see, I don't know why I keep talking. I should be ending this by now. When I was 23 years old, I remember because I created this book that I probably give you access to that book one day, guys. But I go and I tell this. Me earning $20 an hour, that was like the bit like, and that was when I was going in IT. If one day I'm earning $20 an hour, if one day I made it, that was my thinking, that was my standard. But when I got in IT and I see that opportunities, I'm like, wow, if just one day I can earn $30 an hour, I'm good. Like I can have a good life with that. I'm good. And because those beliefs, those standards, they make me do things, go through my life that way until something else come up and be like, man, and one day I'm gonna earn 100K. No, it's too much, man. I don't think so. I don't even have a fucking high school diploma. No, it's too much. And for a few months, I'm like, no, it's 100K, man. Come on, Jorge. Like, not that many people earn 100K. Come on. That was many years back, okay? It was more difficult back then because of the economy. Right now, it's kind of normal earning 100K. So that was my standard. But you see, there were many things inside that had to change in order for me to be able to between us guys. I don't usually say this a lot. Last year, over 360K, combining all things that I do. I do three things. Probably, obviously, a lot of you know about two things with this and my job, but about 360K. And you can do that too. You can do that too. And more if you want. But a lot of what's going on here has to change. And that's one thing that I give access to the students when they join. Because if you don't take care of that, thinking because the IT certification will help you, you are doing it wrong. Fucking wrong. Now I have to go. So take care, guys. And for those of you ready, that's the link. And go through those two videos that I uploaded this week. There's so much that you can learn on those two videos on YouTube. So much. Take notes because it's really gold of information there. Okay? So take care, guys.